For the last few weeks, I've been presenting my 5-step process that I help women use to uniquely build their business to millions as a female entrepreneur in a short period of time, usually within a year or a little more or a little less. And so I'm on step 3 at this point. Haven't presented for a couple of weeks as I wanted to give some time for you to get through step 1 and 2, because those are the ones that take really honestly the longest for anybody who's on this journey to change their mind and their way of doing business and what's happening so that they can really get there. So if you've gone through step 1 and you've gone through step 2, I'm today talking about step 3. I'm really glad to be with anybody who's with me right now. So what we're looking at the idea behind this is training your brain, managing your mind, and then managing your lifestyle and managing what happens in your business development in terms of looking at this like a journey. And, going from where you are now, maybe, at ground zero, maybe at, 6 figures, to $1 million in income and revenue for your business does have some very much similarities for a woman in terms of a long journey, a trip. So let's say, just to review very quickly, the very first thing you do is set up your lifestyle. So that's very much deciding if you live in the United States, you're going to drive in your car from, say, Florida to California. And it is quite a journey to do that. And it takes some planning on, what you need along the way, how you're going to relate to the journey. If you got children with you, where are you going to, stop for them, bathroom stops, overnight stops. So that kind of planning is akin to the first part, step 1, which is for women really important to define your lifestyle. If women don't have their lifestyle defined of how they want to live, picking up the kid, making sure they have family tied into what they're planning, making sure they have the relationships, all of those things, it gets really stressful. So it's very important. Step 1, just to review, is that you get your lifestyle planned out, mapped out. What do you want? You want Fridays off? You want 1 week out of the month off? You want to work every day? You want to take time to go get your kids? Build that into every single future decision for your business. It's very important. Once you do that, you kind of look at this, I'm ready now, and you put your car in drive. Now you know your lifestyle. Now you know the decisions you're going to make. You know where you are in the starting process. You know where you want to be, whether it's at 10K a month or wherever, and you want to go to millions. So you know all that. Then you go into step 2. And step 2, very briefly, this is a review, is where you really have to change yourself and your way of doing business. And it's like along the way, the trip that you're taking would be like the first stop, like on this journey. If you know you've got a long journey, you're going to probably not drive all the way through if you're driving. So you plan your stops. And so all of your focus in step 2 is that first stop you're going to make, which I would recommend $20,000 a month. And during this time, what you're going to do in your business is you're going to look at what you're doing. You're going to look at how you're marketing. You're going to look at yourself and what you are doing to bring in the money you bring in. And you're going to up the ante. You're going to do more of what works. And you're also going to be looking at your own stuff about, am I focused on lack? Am I fear-based? Am I doing what I need to do? How do I need to change on the inside so I can make this journey happen? All right. So once you get to $20,000 a month, and again, I'm doing a really quick overview. I would love to meet with you individually and do a real plan through this and help you through this. Totally and completely recommend that. You're going to go on in your journey to this millions in your business building to step 3. And I would tell you step 3, usually what we work on when we're working on this together in a coaching relationship, is getting your business to $40,000 a month. So if you're looking at this in terms of our metaphor of taking this long-term drive, you've stopped once overnight, you're continuing your drive, you're moving along, you're feeling great, it's working out. And now you're planning the next stop, the next city, the next place, right? And so all of your focus is going, you know where you're going, but you're really focused on getting to this next stop, which in your business, I would recommend step 3 being $40,000 a month. So at this point, you've already been through how do you build it, how to recreate what you've been doing, how to market a little better, what you've been doing, evaluating what's happening inside of you that might be holding you back. So now it's time to be looking at what are you doing to sell, and do you want to start new procedures? Do you want to start looking at things in a different way? And you want to build it much higher. So whatever you were doing, you want to bring systems in place, you want to automate, you want to have things going as smoothly and as quickly as you can to be able to continue to build to this amount of income. Now, where people get into shipwreck right here and the building process from now on is they get really concerned about expenses and holding down expenses, and they can get really lost in that. And it's so important for you to continue to be focused on income, on the second stop of $40,000 a month. And what you're going to do to build that is you're going to have to, at this point, bring in more team members. As you're automating, there's going to need to be people that know more about that than you do, maybe before you've been, solo, maybe bringing in somebody part-time. At this point, you need to be expanding yourself. If you have 10 times the number of people working, that should be 10 times the amount of income and things going on. If you continue to hold this tightly and you're the only one, you are not going to be able to smoothly and without stress grow. So now as the leader, the driver in this journey, you are looking at holding the vision for the company, hiring people and growing your team, increasing sales, increasing what works, and now is when you really need to be investing in yourself. Investing in your business and marketing, investing in, new technologies and employees and yourself, getting a coach, getting a mentor, getting that help. You have the income at this point, and getting that kind of support is going to help you as a woman continue to build. You need to be getting around other people who are on this model, who are building their business to millions, other women, and you need to get that going along with your team involved, all right, and their training. So this is a point at which a lot of businesses kind of go back down to where they were, or they grow. The fork in the road, the turn on your journey that you've got to make to continue. And you've got to open yourself up to not being a solopreneur anymore, unless you want to be all stressed out, because there's only one of you, to building your systems, to building and growing into a marketing plan, maybe even paying for marketing, and also starting to look at new streams of income at this point. Now, you don't have to find something that's totally different than what you're doing. It's really best to stay in your swim lane and look at what's going on, and can you create one more stream of income? Like maybe you start doing evergreen training and consulting too, building that up, or write your book or something like that. So this is step 3. So now you're about halfway into the journey. Let's not call it the long journey, but into your process. And you're focused only on this $40,000 a month. The next stop is going to be $60,000 a month. And you're in all of this while, you got to be like knowing you're successful, knowing that you're doing it, getting around other supportive people. Because this is the point where you either decide to continue your journey, or you say, oh no, I'm never going to get there, and you go back home. All right. So step 3 is important in and of itself. You've got a lot of the basis already formed, because you know your lifestyle. You're making decisions about your business based on what lifestyle you want, and things are going okay. You've got the income coming in. You know what processes work. Now you're building them. You're putting in new systems. You're hiring people. You are automating as much as you can. and you're getting lots and lots of support to build the business, build you, and market. All right. So that's step 3. And in a couple of days, we'll let you sink in with that. I'd love to hear your comments. Anybody that's in this process right now, tell me how this has worked for you. And certainly, this is a overview. I cannot stress this enough. I mean, you can learn and go do this, do it by yourself, but I think you really need to have somebody meet with you and go through this so that you can detail this further, because I am giving you a very quick overview of what I do actually in my one-on-one coaching with my $1 Million Maker women, so that they build their business and their wealth quickly and without tons of stress, without tons of overwhelm, while still maintaining their family relationships, their health, their happiness, and working toward that lifestyle that they started their business to begin with. Also, this step 3 is also where many people start to not like their business as it's growing. If they haven't done things, women in particular, if they haven't done things to protect their lifestyle that they want, to be clear about, not trying to do it all, getting other people to support them. If they haven't done that, this is when people start to not like what they're doing and considering it like another kind of job. That they left their other job so they could do this, and now they're not liking it again. So doing this properly at this step and any step along the way is really important. And that's why it's so important to be looking toward improving yourself, the way you think, the way you react to the world. And at this point, you should be more in abundance thinking and open to getting mentorship and help. But at any point during the way, this is so critical, is you have to change what's going on inside of you now to be able to change what you're receiving for income and what you're doing for your business, or else it'll just stay the same forever. What's happening on the inside, on your outside, is a reflection, absolutely, of what's happening on the outside. And right here in step 3 is the critical juncture of making sure the new you is acting and happy in this process. I'm Paula Belinda. I'm a master business and mindset coach. I will definitely put my connection information. If you're just starting out today, I made a video about how to start and get a profitable business going in 30 days. That'll be on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link to my YouTube channel. And certainly all of these steps are very appropriate for you anywhere along your life. And certainly if you have a business already that you're desiring to move to millions, we need to meet and work this out. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great evening.